Oh, yes, Dan Campbell coming at you here. Okay, Stanley Cup final. New York Rangers versus LA. There's already been one game. LA won that game 3-2 in overtime. Shots were like 43-27 in favor of LA. Lundqvist kept them in there big time. And these teams, this wasn't a classic game big time. It was a short overtime, but Girardi, stuff like that happens. I wouldn't be too hard on the guy for that. The guys will come back and make some kind of statement. Okay, just to recap how LA got to the finals. First round, they were down 3-0 to San Jose. They came back and shocked the hockey world. 4 straight wins. Then they went into a series with Anaheim, and they won the first 2. And then Anaheim stormed back to win the next 3. And then LA closed it out in 7. So they're not making it easy on themselves, but they're dominant. First 2 series were about comebacks. And then they played the Chicago Blackhawks here and got out. I forget how the scenario went, but they ended up leading that series 3-1 and all that. When did Chicago win their first? Not 100% sure. I think LA might have went up 2-0, and then Chicago won, and then LA won the other one up 3-1. But Chicago stormed back, tied it. Patrick Kane came to life there with a bunch of points in those 2 games there. Shake up there with Saad and Shaw on his line there. Excuse me. And Kane is his hands. If I ever meet Kane, I'm gonna ask him to pose with his hands. Like, I want him to do like a cocky face, shock him. My hands are God, and I want to be with him there and all that stuff, because he has every right to say his hands are God's. And anyways, LA closed that out in Game 7, overtime. They were going into the third. They're losing 4-3. Gabrick tied it up. Gabrick, I think his 12th goal of the playoffs. Oh man! And then Justin Williams made a sweet pass. He was in on the overtime. He was buzzing around. Got it to Alex Martinez. Hit Nick Leddy and went over Crawford's shoulder there, and all that. Just a fluke goal. Chicago is raw contenders, and those guys that core group is so young yet. It's crazy. And then a recap how the Rangers got to the finals here. Philadelphia and the Rangers didn't pay a whole lot of attention to that series. I had Simmons and Giroux in my hockey pool. And New York Rangers closed that out in 7. I don't know a whole lot of details. I can't recap that very well for you and all that. Then they went and played the Penguins, and I thought they were down and out. They were down 3-1. And Martin St. Louis' mother passed away during that, and I'm very sorry to the St. Louis family for that. But yeah, they rallied around and they have come through and all that. They deserve to be where they're at, the way they stormed back against the Pittsburgh Penguins and won that series, like 3 straight games. And then they're very dominant against the Canadians. Like, I don't know if Carey Price would have made much of a difference, to be honest with you. That being said, they could have made a world of difference. You never know in these playoffs here. So they closed that out in 6 games. I remember watching Game 5 there. Martin St. Louis scored that overtime goal and all that. So, what else? Yeah, I can't recap that very well either. But I was pretty excited for the Montreal Canadiens. I have some buddies that are Canadian fans and stuff like that. My good buddy, God of Slam, Chad Bree there, pumps the iron yet, I hope. I'm guessing so. A good family man. And so the Rangers beat the Canadiens and chilled out for a little bit, scouted the LA and Chicago series, and they came out flying here. I wish Daryl Sutter had some of his magic with the Flames there, but that's such a dominant team. You can't say enough about LA here. Like, their centers are like Kopitar, Carter, Jarrett Stoll, Mike Richards. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is Richards like playing 3rd, 4th line center these days? I believe he is. And then Tyler Toffoli and Tanner Pearson have been making contributions. Justin Williams, Dustin Brown. Oh, man. And then you got Martinez and Muzzin making statements on the back end. And Drew Dowey, holy shit, they were getting to him the other day. The guy speared him. And he's on the bench going, spear. He looks intense. Here, this guy used to eat like 2 pizzas after every game, after a juniors game. But anyways, this gets to my predictions. I like to say I'm going to guess LA in 7. I've already bet against LA 3 times, and I'm not making that mistake a 4th time. But that being said, the Rangers are not going to roll over and play dead. This is going to go 7 for a reason. And Martin St. Louis had some golden chances. He's going to fine-tune his game in practice probably. But you can't really blame him and all that stuff. Jonathan Quick, world-class goaltender. But St. Louis had some great opportunities. He knows that he's dangerous. And Rick Nash, I know you got something in the tank there. I always remember your Team Canada World Championship contributions and all that stuff. So Rick Nash can come out of nowhere and do some damage. And I'm glad to see. I support Daniel Carcillo back. He's going to be back. I want him back in the Stanley Cup Finals. He deserves to be. 10-game suspension was ridiculous for that. He was standing up for his teammates. That was probably taken into account. But I'm glad Carcillo appealed that decision because he wouldn't have got a chance to play in the Stanley Cup Finals, which he deserves, and all that. But yeah, this has been a classic. Like, Minnesota Wild made a statement in the playoffs. Montreal Canadiens made a statement, giving their fans some good hope here. Columbus showed some promise in the first round. Man, really exciting year here. And all that. Pittsburgh Penguins, what happened to them, man? Pierre Maguire might be the next GM. If that's possible, then I'm going full out to be the Flames GM here. Okay, this episode has been brought to you by Fresca, sugar-free cola, and all that stuff. And then my pizza pop's waiting for me down in the microwave. And homage to Uruguay. See where my arrow is? You don't see where a cursor is. Between Brazil and Argentina, where I'll write my final chapter. Peace out, dudes, and my money will be worth 21 times as much. 7 minutes even. Stop recording. Thanks to the 4 or 5 fans who watched this. Okay.